G'day everyone, welcome to Griffin, Indiana. It is a beautiful March morning here, and Jake's just taking care of a few little chores before the day gets underway. He was just sort of out here early, loading up these smaller bits onto the trailer. Won't spend more than a minute, just a good activity as he's come out just to kind of think about what the day is going to hold. These little ones here are all short enough, 90 kilos, that he can just get them on the trailer himself. But it's been a pretty cold old February, so we jumped through the end of the month. You can see, what have we got here? There's a little bit that can go straight in the back of the ute. But you can see March has dawned beautifully. It's still pretty crisp, but all in all, it is a pretty good spot. Now, there's a bunch of chores in the rack for today. That one's a little bit heavy. What's this guy? There we go, 20 kilos. You can go straight in the back. Because it's March, it's planting season, so we need to get our oats into the twilight fields, and as we talked about last time, thinking about sorghum. Well, sunflowers would be really nice to put into 22, but we don't have a header for it, and he doesn't really want to be buying a header. So unless something came up in the store sales, probably won't be going in that direction for this year. So we'll sort of just go with oats and some sorghum, and that'll sort of help with our crop rotation. But you might have noticed there we're just dropped into overdraft. That's probably because he had some visitors the end of last month and didn't pay much attention to what was going on the farm. So we need to be checking in on the animals. So you can see the 3 twilight pastures there, and the animals have got enough feed to be going on with and are in reasonable shape. So they're all pretty young, all of the animals that are spread across the twilight field, so they're coming along nicely. But in the home pasture here, you'll notice that we're almost full. So 54 animals, and part of that's because we've just had 12 new calves, so they're eating through the feed and drinking the water pretty quickly. But more importantly, these older 12 have just had those calves, and they're worth $3,100 a piece. So it's time to sell, and then next month these 6 here will also give birth, and then it'll be time to sell those. So the plan here is very much to take these 12 down and get them sold, and then across on the North Meadow, we've got a bunch that are coming up to puberty. So we'll need to keep an eye on the stocking levels in this field as well. And Woody End pasture just needs a little bit more hay when we get to it. Now, of course, we've got some hay to pick up at the back of the farm, if memory serves. So that's another job that's on the list. But for now, let's grab the truck and get those 12 animals ready for sale. Now, the other thing that he's done is a fairly large fertilizing contract came up, and because we're sitting on a little bit of fertilizer in our a little factory with plenty of manure there as well. It was just one of those too good to be true moments, don't let the chance go by sort of thing. So that's what he's taken advantage of. So we'll just find our way now down around where we can load these 12 animals up. This kind of feels like we're now getting into the more regular swing of the cattle business, which makes him happy. So there's the 12 that we want. They've just reproduced. And so we're going to select all of those, move them into our trailer. So we'll see you down at Larson's. Here we are at Larson's. Just going to drop these in the trigger here. And we'll sell those 12. But we're also going to take the opportunity and pick up another 30 calves. So just to make sure we continue this trend of using our sales to build the herd. So there we go, 24 in the bank. While we're here, we'll just check what's happening in the shop. And in terms of things that we need, not much on sale. So skidder we don't have any use for, and that front loader is a little bit on the small side. So no second-hand equipment required. Let's get these back. We're going to distribute them across the top twilight fields because they've got the furthest to go in terms of getting ready to reproduce again. So let's just back down here and see if we can unload our calf cargo. A couple of logs we've got in the way there. Okay. So we've got 30 in this pasture. In fact, we could put the whole lot into this pen here, I think, for the minute. So let's do that and fill this one up. So that's all good to go. Now the next job to get sorted is to get our seeder organised and running up here on this field. And so we'll take care of that. And the easiest way to park this up with the sheds now that we've got them organised is just to bring it in like so and park it on the diagonal, which just gives us plenty of through room but gets everything out of the weather. So we'll leave you set there. Now there's our seeder hiding in there. You've got a few seeds in there. Got lime in that guy, so we need to move a couple of things around here. Use the Rigitrack to do the seeding, but let's pull the tender out. There's almost certainly enough seed in here to deal with the field. So we'll just pop you on the side. You might need to put the little John Deere on the tender. We can worry about that after, when we sort of see what the coverage turns out like. Fill it up while we're passing. Just check, we've indeed got oats selected. So away we're that's our man there. We'll just make him a fraction lower because sometimes we have some challenges. We want to start on the centers, and that'll be our course. And off you can go. And let's go and grab the other tractor. Because now will be a good time to go down and get the fertilizing contract underway. Now it should trundle away quite successfully for most of the rest of the day. Need to unload that lime out of the spreader. Which, with any luck, we can pop over beside the silo where we in fact put the fertilizer incorrectly last time, so it'll pop out the other side. Let's have a look at what the state of play is in our little Seed factory. Solid fertilizer, so we've got about 12,000 litres. The fields that we've contracted to fertilise is field 8, which is quite a large size, and we're going to need about 6,000 litres, it estimates, so that's a little over 1 tank. Well, closer to 2 tanks. But I think what we'll do is, rather than get the auger wagon and take it down, we'll just ferry backwards and forwards. But for now, we'll run down to field 8 and get going. So field 8's just up the road here past the ball field. Or the ballpark. In fact, I think we can just duck across the back of the ballpark here to get in. We could have come round on the road, but this was just as easy. You'll remember it's sort of this, got this funny little extension into the rail yard. So what we'll do, let's get our spray width up to maximum. That's it. We'll put 2 headlands on the end here. And then do a run up and a headland on the other end. And depending on how we're feeling about things and how far it's going, we might do it ourselves or we might get someone else to do it. You'll have noticed this contract's pretty lucrative. So it does 2 things. It allows us to convert our fertilizer into cash. And, you know, we're making more than enough fertilizer for our own needs. And there's no easy place to sell it on the map. But also, we'll just shrink down our spray width here for a second. Let's do this little bit here. Control Z brings us down, I'm reckoning somewhere around there. About the right width. Whoops. Let's drive in a straight line, might help. There we go. So that, yeah, so it allows us to convert our fertilizer into cash, but it also provides some good money, the good contract income that tops up our coffers. And as we were talking about last time, you know, that now that we've got our livestock up and running, the next focus is on 2 things: getting our loan under control, which from an interest coverage standpoint it is, but also getting some more land. So let's widen you right out, find the line, and off we go. It's not quite to the edge. Let's get our bearing up here. Probably want to be on about the 1186 coordinate. I'm going pretty much due 90 degrees. Yeah, so we know that to buy one of those fields at the top of the map that we were looking at to expand our for the next lot of pastures and to add a little bit more grass, we need a couple of 100,000 to sort of get everything in place and set up. So that's really the next goal here. So if we can pick up 40 or so thousand with a contract like this, we only need a couple more of them through this part of the season. We've only got 2 fields of our own to plant, so that shouldn't be a long way ahead of us. At least that's the plan. There's always a chance that something unexpected will occur, and the most likely of which, of course, would be big John Deere come up in the second-hand market, which you just feel compelled to purchase. So we'll just have to see how we go with that one. It looks like Jake's got this sort of pretty much under Kevin has this pretty much under control today, so we might leave him with it for a little bit and check back when he's a bit further through the field. So as we come around to complete our first lap here, we're about 40% done. There's a really interesting patch of weeds just there that the owner of the field's missed, and he's getting quite a few small stones in here. So be interesting to see if he does anything about those in due course. Pleasing thing is that with 40% of the contract complete, we've only used just on half a tank of fertilizer, so we will, as we hoped, comfortably get out of this with a with just a tank. With just 2 tanks, so that'll work quite nicely. So it's looking like at least the 500 odd litres we've got left in the hopper will get us to this end of the field, so that's good. And it puts us pretty convenient just to run back up to the farm and get another load. So far it's going pretty well. We're mid-morning. By the time we get up to the farm and fill up, it'll probably be time to just grab a sandwich, check in with Jocelyn, see how her day's going, and then we'll be right to set off for the next bit. Just turn around and drop this last 300 litres. Looks like we've got less than 3 lengths of the field to do, so and our time will be pretty good because our man on the seeding is out of seed, so we'll go and sort that out while we're up at the farm. It's actually interesting, we're about 76% done on this contract, so we're clearly not going to need another full tank. I wonder if there's another contract immediately round here that we could fulfill. So field 9 must be close by. It's not very big. Let's have a look. We're on field 8. Field 9's up in the corner, so I reckon we take that one as well while we're here and clear that on our way back. Let's run through here. Fill you up. I might just leave you there for the moment. Run over and grab the John Deere on that tender. Which is, as is always the way, needs a little bit of maintenance. That's not a problem. Also needs some fuel, but got enough for this job. So he'll need attending to when we're done. Let's go and get the seeder. Making good progress. About a third of the field done, I reckon. Fill it up. Easy as you like. That's how it should be. And just get you back in line. And start you off. That wasn't a bad guess. 706 waypoints of 2300, so about a third. So we'll head back down to get these two contracts sorted out. And then the afternoon looks like it'll be just getting some hay. Looking like one narrow stripe to go on the way back. And it'll finish us up. That's the other field we've got to do, just way over there. So this will all work out quite nicely, I think. Planting window for sorghum's not till next month, so we've got plenty of time, and so that may even introduce the opportunity for a couple more contracts, which could get us to that field we want a bit quicker, which would of course be very nice. And as we get into the end of April and May, of course, we get the opportunity to sell our fabric. So that'll be a nice little bit of income. We'll just make you a fraction narrower. Turn you off there. 97%. I'm going to go one more. Was too many. About right. A little bit of a guess to get the width right, but at 98%, 99, we're pretty much done. We've got plenty in the hopper to complete the contract, so we'll go to the end of the the row, and then we'll just duck over and do that little field over there, which is probably no more than an up and back for us. Contract is complete. It always feels wrong to just stop at this point, even though we've delivered the amount the farmer contracted us for. Just feels right to finish the row. It's important when we do that to remember to put the spreader back on full width. So this guy here, looking very much like two widths. See how we go. Maybe three. The potatoes or sugar beet. It's always interesting to see what crops are going into the ground in the area. Evan's quite intrigued with the fact that nobody's put cotton in since he bought the spinnery. It's now been several seasons. Wait and see if anyone wants to produce cotton this year. Not that it's an issue. He's quite comfortable with his investment. The sheep are just the perfect thing to fill out that field. That's just right beside the spinnery and keep it running, so nice little balancing operation. 74%. How close will we get on this run up the field? I'll just have to tidy up a couple of little spots here. Seeing he's managed to run down the middle and not actually get full coverage on either side. Do a little bit here. Almost done. So that decision to pick this one up was a good move. Little patch here in the corner should end it. Got it. Rightio, so let's go over to our contracts. You're done for collection. You're done for collection. Field 11 is not far away, but probably we've got to drive past it. But I don't think we've got enough on board to deal with it. Let's have a look. Details. 2,000 litres. Gee, to be close, you know. I think we'll give it a whirl. Worst that can happen, he's got to take another trip. So we'll check back in with him when he gets down to the last 500 litres or so and see how close it is. It's a very similar field, just a little bit longer. Let's just square off a headland up here. We're halfway through, but we've only used about 40% of what we had when we started. So basically, if we get to 66% complete and we've still got 600 litres or 650 litres in the tank, we will be fine. And it's looking like we've got 1,000 litres in the tank. So I think we'll cover this one. The decision to just tuck it in on the way back looks like a good one. Picked us up a nice easy 10,000. So there's our 66% complete, and we've still got 1,000 litres left, so very nice. Literally in the home stretch now. 97, 98% done. We've still got 600 litres in the tank. We've just got to follow the stripe to the end of the field and we will be good. There we go, the farmer's happy and we can see the point we're going to stop at with enough fertiliser comfortably. So that was a good little one to pick up. Only cost us an hour of time and we've still got time to get back and get our hay in. So we'll head back up to the farm, put some more seed in the seeder on the twilight fields, and get that forage wagon going, picking up some hay. Let's phone in completion on that contract while we think about it. So there we go. After starting the day 4,000 in the red, we're now 76,000, almost 77,000 in the black. So that's how we like it. Definitely a good day on the farm. Get sorted here. We're full on forage additive. Not that that'll do us any good with the hay, but get you in the right spot. There we go. Just got to get you in the right spot to line up. With any luck, one more tank should go pretty close to finishing this job. So that timing will work out quite nicely. Seeding's progressing well. Let's see what we've got over here. Actually, it looks like we have picked up all of the hay. Kevin's having a senior moment. His memory's failing him. Let's jump into, have we got any hay stored is the answer. Our spinnery is out of wool, so we can deactivate that. We do not have any hay stored. We've got a little bit of silage. What's the silage price like, just out of curiosity? Not bad for this time of the year. Look at the curve. it's only going to drop from here. So now might be a good time to run down while we've got this trailer on, seeing as we don't have any hay here, is run a load of silage down while that seeding's completing. And then when we come back, we can just take a couple of bales, hay bales. But one of the things he was hanging out for was a baling contract so we could generate some more hay. So we'll just make do for the minute. We've got a reasonable amount of hay in the barn there, so certainly enough to put a couple in the pastures that most need it. So we'll run this down while we can. Of course, Kevin was reminded driving past the front of the property, if we seriously get pressed for hay, we can always cut the grass around the house and ted it. It's not like we haven't done that before. And Jocelyn's always happy if we keep the lawn there a little bit shorter. So we know there's a good 100,000 litres of feed to take off it. Which pens really need hay? I think it was the North Meadow is getting a bit low, and Woody End. North Meadow and Woody End are the big ones. So the twilights are all in pretty good shape. So we'll just run a couple of bales up to the North Meadow and Woody End, and that might be where we leave it for the day. Just pop our silage trailer back in its spot. Do nicely. We can just bump that pallet across the yard there to the spot beside the lime silo so we can get it next time. And we'll drop our front attachment off as well. With any luck, while we're here, we can fill up with some fuel. In order to refuel, it would help to have some fuel in the tank. Let's fill you up, and now we park our tractor alongside. We can get some fuel. Rightio, so if we just grab our loader with the Farrison. It's not the fastest vehicle in the world, but it'll do the job. Go and grab a couple of those hay bales. Pretty good turning capability. We can just run down the pasture in front of the house Just tilt them back a little bit so we don't lose them off the spike. Might even remember to shut that gate on the way back. That mightn't be a bad plan. Beautiful. Nice scenic drive across the front lawn. We'll just grab 2 more and run those out to the North Meadow. And with any luck, that'll get us through until next time. Give ourselves a bit of a berth here. Can we get those 2 bales out of there without... Didn't get the bottom one. That's better. Straighten you out of there. Now we tilt. Now Siid looks like he's on his last half of the fields. On the headland, on the last headland indeed. So that'll be good. I'm guessing we're going to have some weeding to do next time, which is not a problem. But that's been a good day, and we may even get an opportunity to roll them this year. So we'll see how we go. For now, this is pretty much where we're going to leave it. We'll drop these in. Still got a couple of months before we can get another cut of grass off here, so it'd be really nice if we got a couple of contracts for baling just to top up those hay supplies. For now, we've got plenty of food for our cows. And they're looking great. Until next time, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe. See ya.